We have a 2004 TDI Jetta. It has an check engine light. One is for cylinder 3 glow plug, and for coolant temperature too low. So we're gonna check glow plug number 3 to start with. So look at the glow plug harness. Is pretty messed up. So that might be part of the reason why we're having a issue with number 3. Take this off. That's just falling apart. Great. Make some needle nose. Back with some needle nose. There we go. Alright, there's glow plug number 3. So, to check if glow plug number 3 is good, we will break out our good old multimeter and test for continuity. On the ohm setting. One lead is going to ground on the battery. I can get to the So one lead, the negative lead on the head terminal of the battery. This one, see if any continuity. Says we have 68 ohms. So that's not good. Right on line, it's supposed to be less than 6. But I guess let's try to test some of the other ones and see if they're any better. Yeah, that one's at 1. See cylinder 2, that one's also a 1. That one's also a 1. So yes, we do have a bad glow plug. Cylinder 3 is like it's not even beeping. So that is the issue on that code. Now, as far as temperature sensor, it is way in there under all this. I'm gonna take all this off. I'm gonna take this off and try to get the temperature sensor ready to go. With these glow plugs, there's like 4 different versions of fucking glow plugs. There's ceramic tip, steel tip, 5 volt, 7 volt. So if I pull this one, it's gonna show me, let's see what it's gonna show me. So we have a 10 mil deep well socket for the glow plugs. Just comes right off. No big deal. So with the glow plug pulled, got some specs on here. You know, VW, France, blah, blah, blah. There's a part number at the bottom. And then you can see it's a Bosch. Right there, 5 volt. Oh, so you can get the focus. There you go, see Bosch, 5 volt, the 5V. So apparently they upgraded to a 7 volt steel tip back in the day, but this car never got that. So if you do buy a 7 volt plug, you gotta get the ECU or whatever retuned to use the 7 volt system. So just a heads up, there's a couple different versions of ceramic, steel tip, 5 volt, 7 volt. And there's a couple different versions of the coolant temperature sensor, which we're about to look at and change. So I believe that's our issue. I'm not really sure how to test the coolant temp sensor, but besides if it's working or not. Power, no power, because it just says the temperature is out of range, so that could be a couple of things, thermostat. But reading on TDI forums, they think it's probably that, so went ahead, bought it. Checked what type they had. There was a couple different types of those. They have a 2-prong, 4-prong, square, or a little bit of like a half oval square combination. So you gotta be careful which one to buy on that too. So I will come back at you once I have their hose taken off and we can get to the coolant temperature sensor. Alright, now with this gone, the coolant temperature sensor is right down here. See if I can get a picture of it. Almost deep in there. It's kind of this general area, kind of like in there. Can't really get a picture of it, but you see where those wires are down there? Those couple of wires right there? That's where it's at. It's really deep in there. There is a tab you need to push to pull that connector off, but you need to push the connector in before you can pull it out. Mine's turned backwards, so this is going to be awful. I'm probably going to have to pull the sensor off first and then take the connector. Also gushing fluid. This will gush fluid, so get a catch pan or something like that to try to clean up your mess. I will see you again when I get this thing off. Alright, so after I took the clip out, sensor's right there, see with the green. After I took the clip out, I was able to rotate it over so I could see it. See that little tab? I have to push the sensor in and pull that tab to get it to come out. I'm gonna need both my hands for this. Like left side, it's pretty atrocious to get in here. Right side's not too bad, you can come from underneath. But if you I have medium-sized hands, and it's horrible to get up in here. So you might need a helper with smaller hands, or might get lucky. So let's see what happens. So I was able to get the sensor removed. See the green body right there. Once I take it out, you want to have your new one ready to go. So this one happens to be a 4-pin with this kind of like square circle thing. The old O-ring is probably going to stay in there. You have to fish it out. I won't be able to tell until I take it out real quick. I'm going to need both my hands, so I don't know if I'll be able to record this. Make sure to lube up your O-ring and get a new one of these clips to hold it in. Kind of slides right there where it's notched. See where it goes from a circle to kind of a square, and it holds it in. It gets loose over time, but you don't want it to accidentally fall out again, so might as well, while we're here, change it out. I will try my best to not make a fucking mess. Got a towel, so once I pull it out, I'm gonna stuff with the towel, grab this, and try to fish out that O-ring if it stays in. All right, so remember I told you I was gonna try and not spill coolant everywhere? Well, it happened. All of it's pretty much drained out. Good news is this is the top of the motor, so I'd say about a quart came out. So as long as we have coolant to replace that, we should be good. O-ring did stay in. It was in there pretty good. I could use my fingers, so I took a little flathead, stuck it to that little slot right there where the retaining clip is, and was able to get it out, kind of like pry it through there. Now we're going to install the new one. So like I said, make sure to get greased up good and put it in there. Here's my left hand. Let's see how it goes. Alright, get the other side. Fuck. Already lost the washer. So I can push it on there with my fingers. Try again. Try to make it flush. So it fall off the sensor. Around that there boss where it seats. Just go all the way around, nice and even. Make sure it's fully seated. Best you can. Alright, let's try this again with the actual sensor. Try to keep this up, the flat part, so you get better access to your sensor later on if you ever have to change it again. But hopefully we never have to do that. Let's tell me this fits in here. So I did end up using both my hands to push it past that O-ring. New O-ring's good. Put the clip back in. Clip gets installed from underneath, and that should be it. I'm gonna fill it back up with coolant. Put this pipe back. You know, it says G12 coolant. You drain pretty much everything else in the reservoir. There was a lot of discussion on the forums if you should G12 or Prestone all vehicle or the Prestone European. I tried to get some Prestone European because it said it would work as a replacement for G12, but I wasn't able to find any at Walmart, so I'm going to use the Prestone all vehicles. It is an OAT instead of HOAT coolant. G12 is an OAT coolant, so hopefully we won't have any issues with there. I guess I'll make another video of me fixing that issue if it is an issue. While we're here as well, we're going to do the doggy collar fix on these BEW motors, maybe other ones. See, it's got all the slop in it. A little bit of boost leak out of there. It's just kind of a fix to help clamp that shut. You know, before I drive, I'll put it in. When I get out, it's always like that. So, it's getting progressively worse and worse. It used to be like this. Now it's like that all the time. So, we're gonna do that. And this glow plug, I do not have the glow plug on me, but I've ordered it. It should be here next Thursday. I do have the harness though, because you know the harness is falling apart, so we might do that today. This is the doggy collar kit from Kerma TTI. Gives a little bit of instructions. Pretty much you just need a 10mm open entrant socket, and I say probably a small screwdriver or a needle nose to get this part off. Got this little bad boy right here. It's the one you gotta. It's not gonna come all the way off. It's gonna get like loose, and then once it gets loose, you're gonna pull this out. So this has a little seal right there. Kerma kit came with a Viton seal, which is supposed to be better. I think this might be rubber. Doesn't look very Teflon-y, but Viton is a lot stronger than rubber. So I'm gonna clean up the inside of this because it's pretty disgusting, probably from all the blow-by. From the turbo. And then we're gonna get this replaced. Take this off with a small pick. I need both my hands for this, sorry guys. So this is the old seal. It is kind of slightly grooved. Don't want to have my index finger and my thumb. So the Viton seal is a basic O-ring. You can get it anywhere, I guess. Very generic. So hopefully we don't have any issues with it. Clean the outside mating surface for the seal. You see it's right in that little crease. Inside's kind of baked on. I don't know if I'll ever be able to get that off. Also, while I'm doing this, I'm letting the cooling system burp. You know, move around the car a little bit. Let some air bubbles out. Go ahead and put this Viton seal on. Might need. Let's see, right there. Get over that lip. Good. Get a little bit of oil, a little bit of this nasty stuff in here, some lubrication. Go ahead and come off while we're putting it back in. And I believe all we have to do now is take these 10mm bolts off right here and right here. Actually, those are 10mm Allen. And then add our little extensions on it and go from there. So yeah, those are definitely socket, hex head socket bolts. And the instructions say you only need a 10mm. So, and this is a 5mm Allen wrench, by the way. So that'd be something you need to think about when you're doing this. That the stock is this. Maybe in the newer models, it's 10 mil. But yes, it's these two bolts right here on top. Oh, come on, guys. Once these are taken off. So make sure the Kerma logo is facing towards the left. Make sure it's on this part of it, otherwise it's not going to do its job to hold it in. You got your spacer, you got the washer, you got the bolt. Kind of hard to get started, but I got that one started, and I'm gonna get the top one started, and we're gonna run it down, see how it looks. So this is what it looks like with it installed. Set it up pretty good. Don't put too much. It says 10 Newton meters, which is, I don't know, probably like 25 foot-pounds force, so don't go too crazy on it. Next, I guess we're moving on to the glow plug harness. So the kit that I bought for the BEW, so these a little different than the ALH motors, does not have a connector at the end. I have to do this the old-fashioned way and figure out how long we need it to be, how long we want it to be, and then splice the wires together. I don't have any heat shrink, so I might actually use crimp connectors that have heat shrink around them, like waterproof crimp connectors. And next question is going to be, where do I want to cut it from? Do I want to steal it from up here somewhere that I don't have to run so much wire, take so much crap apart, or do I want to, I think that just fall apart right there, or do I want to go all the way back to the connector, which is underneath this air box? Decisions. So I've decided that I'm gonna try to cut it up here and splice it together up here. I don't have to take all this crap apart and run all that wire. So we got green, blue, like a pink, and a red. Because this pink's more of a white in it. Strip them down. Look to be about, I don't know, like 16 gauge wire. Strip it down, get the connectors, and then I will see you when we're at that step. So got my bundle connectors on there. Pull on them a little bit, make sure they're not gonna come off. I was gonna go, the spade connectors where they plug in, but I was like, I don't know if that thing should be removable. So here we are. Now we're gonna see how long this needs to be. So one's good. So two. Two is in, I think. So 3, 4. There we go. Alright. So I think I'm gonna come around this, boom, right there. I'm gonna leave a little bit of extra just because, mistakes happen. I have to cut some stuff back, so I'm gonna cut it right around here. And then I will see you guys when it's done. It's the final result. Got it in, got a little bit of slack. And then that's it. New one of these, still waiting on the glow plug. Probably will be next week sometime. Probably not gonna upload that, but yeah, there's that. The doggy collar. This is still burping a little bit. And cool, thanks for watching.